Good evening, Prospective Independent MP Paul Brown, standing in the constituency of Great Yarmouth. Well, I was actually going to reiterate the message every vote counts, and I will, but I'll come on to that, because basically what's happened to Nigel Farage and reform. Depending on who you believe, he's been stitched up like a kipper, or his party is racist. It's a difficult one. I understand Mr Farage has an awful lot of supporters that are very moderate, and it also appears he's got some supporters that are less moderate. Mr Farage claims he spent £144,000 using a company to look through the posts, and yet they don't appear to have done the job, and he hasn't actually said he's claimed his money back and wants a different company to do it. But that's by the by. So, if you are thinking, I can't actually vote reform now, it is really important that you look at who you are going to vote for. There is no such thing as a wasted vote, unless you don't vote. In the turnout of the last election, I know in this constituency it was 63.2%. And I have said before, and I will say it again, that's 37.8% of people who didn't vote who could have. Now, if they all vote, even half of them vote in one direction, it changes the result. There is a reason they have recounts, is because the votes are close. That's why they have the recount. It all makes a difference, but because politics is so far away from what it should be, we as the electorate just accept that's how it works. It is how it is. Things getting much worse for most, whilst the Prime Minister makes hundreds of millions of pounds and Michel Mone makes millions of pounds out of supplying PPE equipment that's not fit for purpose. Your vote counts. Look at your candidates. Look at what they stand for. Are they representing you? Is it important to you that they are like you? Is it important to you they understand you? How do the policies of the parties affect you? For example, why do the Tories, why are they insistent that we need to come out of the European Court of Human Rights to curb immigration? It's ridiculous. I mean, is it really necessary, especially when you consider where that leads to with regards of our human rights, protest rights, the health rights, workers' rights, unions' rights. I mean, it just affects absolutely everything. So what's their reasoning behind it? Look into what you're voting for. It is important. The female of the species, the female